What is up, guys? It's your boy Red Chaos One, and yeah, I know there's been some time since I posted another video, and I am currently working on something new. It's a review for a book, so you should look forward to it. I'm going to drop it soon, but in the meantime, I just had to make this video. Like I said, I am a big fantasy nerd. I'm a big fantasy fan. I love the genre. Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, Shannara Chronicles, all that. That is my jam. I love those. I love the genre. And even my book, Phantom Ddraig, which I'm shamelessly plugging here, is a high fantasy story. And if you're interested in it, you can check the links. You can check the description below and you will find a link to it. So, yeah, you know the usual thing. If you like the video, you can leave a like. If you'd like to see me if you'd like to see me cover another topic in future, you can leave a comment below. And now that that's out of the way, let's get on to the main topic. Okay, so this is just me shooting from the heart. No script, no nothing. I dislike the way fantasy elves are written in most stories. This isn't just with Western fantasy novels, you can see it in the East. Basically, look, I love Tolkien. I love Tolkien's elves. I hate seeing Tolkien's elves everywhere I look. The same bow using, blonde haired, tree hugging Legolas clones are boring to look at. And the most irritating part is that if you do look at the fantasy genre, mythological creatures are always getting reimagined or reinvented. Vampires, especially, they're not always the same between different stories. But fantasy elves are generic. They're always the same. And that is look, at least make their look different. Like, have you seen the elves from World of Warcraft? Maybe some of those, or even elves from the Dragon Prince. Some of those, they look distinct and unique. Even the children of the forest from A Song of Ice and Fire, those are elves. They look distinct and unique. I am sick and tired of seeing the same looking elf in fiction. Like, give them designs that are unique to them, or they don't even have to be that unique. Give them something that's different from the standard, and maybe even just give them a beard, for Christ's sake. And another thing that really irritates me is the fact that they all have the same personality. You want to see an elf in one, you see an elf in one story. That's how they all are. They're not unique in their personality traits. They're the same, or you'll find them into the forest tree huggers who will always have this superiority complex to humanity. They're never given anything that makes them different among us elves in fantasy. They're not. In fact, now that I think about it, the only unique elves I see in fantasy tend to be the drow, or your usual dark elf, your evil elf. Those elves tend to be unique, and even then, due to how generic the fantasy elf section of fantasy is, they all just end up being the same in each story. Like, couldn't you imagine a story with warlike elves? Elves who put a lot of effort in martial culture? Elves who are more like the Spartans, or as MCU as Guardians, those kinds of elves. Something different, or even elves who are technologically advanced, to focus more on technological advancements. I'm sick and tired of the same elves who live in the forest. Like, yeah, I know they're based off fairies or the fae folk, but you can do something unique with them. The problem with the fantasy genre is that so many people want to be in Tolkien's shadow. And look, I'm not delusional enough to think that Tolkien won't have a hand in what a fantasy writer is creating. His influence is just too broad. I couldn't even deny it myself because, yes, Lord of the Rings has had a big hand in what I do. My story also has elves, but I at least bothered to make my elves look different and to give them different characteristics instead of just going, oh yeah, they're the same assholes who are full of themselves, who live in a forest, have trees, and they have their vague wisdom. This is the reason why a lot of people hate elves in the fantasy genre. The elves, a lot of the times, are the same. They're the same generic characters. They're like the dwarfs. Dwarfs and elves all share the same boring personality trait across fiction. And I hate that. Like, I really legitimately dislike that. And yeah, I guess I just needed to vent. Because, like, I'm reading lots of fantasy web novels, and it's irritating to come across this samey elf character. But they don't even bother to give them distinct looks. Like, come on, guys. Come on. So, yeah. This has been Red Chaos 1 with a rant video. So, this has been Red Chaos 1 signing off.